Walter Perry Johnson, known as the Big Train, was born on November 6, 1887, in Humboldt, Kansas. The youngest of 5 children, Johnson's family had a strong connection to the rural farming community. From an early age, Johnson showed an aptitude for sports, particularly baseball, and he quickly became known for his exceptional arm strength. Growing up on a farm, he had access to wide-open spaces and a rough-hewn baseball diamond where he could practice his pitching skills, often throwing a baseball against a barn wall. As a teenager, Johnson played for local teams, including the Humboldt team and later for a more competitive team in Coffeyville. His early pitching days in these small leagues helped him develop his famous fastball, a pitch that would later become his trademark. At the age of 19, after impressing scouts in his home state of Kansas, Johnson was signed by the Washington Senators in 1907, beginning his journey to the major leagues. Minor league experience and initial struggles. Before making his major league debut, Johnson spent a brief period in the minors, playing for the Montgomery team in the Southern Association. In 1907, he joined the Senators and quickly showed why he had earned the nickname the Big Train, due to the immense power and speed behind his fastball. By 1907, Johnson's speed and control were so impressive that he was called up to the Washington Senators to start his professional career. In his first few years in the majors, Johnson was a raw talent who struggled to consistently harness his immense power. His rookie season in 1907 saw limited success. But as time went on, he began to refine his pitching mechanics, gaining greater accuracy and control. His early struggles were merely stepping stones toward a legendary career. Career peak and main achievements. Johnson's true breakthrough came in 1909, when he established himself as one of the league's premier pitchers. His fastball became renowned for its velocity and movement, making it nearly impossible for batters to make solid contact. His dominance on the mound quickly earned him the reputation as one of the most fearsome pitchers in baseball history. 1913-1920, Johnson's peak. The peak of Walter Johnson's career came between 1913 and 1920, during which he compiled some of the most impressive statistics in baseball history. During this time, he developed into a 2-time American League Most Valuable Player, MVP, and the most feared pitcher in the game. Johnson's pitching mechanics and his fastball were both powerful and precise. His 1.14 earned run average, ERA, in 1913 set a major league record, and it was clear that he had mastered his craft. That season, Johnson not only won 36 games, but also struck out 243 batters, a significant number for the time. Over the next decade, Johnson maintained his dominance, posting remarkable seasons year after year. His durability was equally legendary. Johnson was known for his consistency and for pitching in every situation, including long relief appearances when his team needed him most. In 1914, Johnson pitched in an incredible 25 complete games out of 38 starts, demonstrating his stamina and endurance. By 1915, Johnson had earned 1,400 strikeouts, further cementing his status as a pitching legend. That same year, he won his first American League MVP award, an honor that was largely due to his incredible performance on the mound and his leadership within the Senators. Throughout the 1910s, Johnson remained a fixture of consistency and excellence. He was known for his ability to pitch deep into games, often finishing what he started, and he had remarkable control, walking very few batters. Johnson's accomplishments on the mound during this era were unparalleled, and he continued to lead the American League in several major pitching categories, including wins, strikeouts, and earned run average. 1920-1927, later career and decline. Johnson's dominance on the mound continued well into the 1920s, but the later stages of his career were affected by the changing nature of the game. In 1920, the introduction of the live ball era changed the dynamics of baseball, and pitchers across the league had to adapt. While Johnson's fastball remained as strong as ever, the increase in offense during this period did put some pressure on him to keep up with the changes in the game. Despite these challenges, Johnson remained a top performer. He continued to pile up wins and strikeouts, earning his third MVP nomination in 1924. However, by the mid-1920s, his age began to show. While Johnson was still an effective pitcher, he was no longer the dominant force that he had been during the early part of his career. he still managed to win 20 games in 1924 and pitched a no-hitter in 1920, a testament to his continued effectiveness. In 1927, after nearly 2 decades in the major leagues, Johnson's career began to wind down. He was no longer the ace of the Washington Senators, but he remained an important leader in the clubhouse. Johnson played his final season in 1927, at the age of 39. By this time, his strikeout numbers were declining, and injuries began to take a toll on his arm. Even in his final year, however, Johnson managed to record 158 strikeouts, showing that his talents had not entirely diminished. Retirement and final years. After his retirement, Johnson's life was marked by his continued involvement in the game and his status as one of baseball's true legends. Johnson retired from the Washington Senators after the 1927 season, leaving behind a career that would be remembered for years to come. He finished his career with 417 career wins, the most strikeouts of any pitcher at the time, 3,509, and a career ERA of 2.17, making him one of the most accomplished pitchers in the history of the game. Following his playing career, Johnson remained active in baseball as a coach and executive. He became the manager of the Washington Senators in 1929. Though he was not as successful in this role, nevertheless, he was beloved by fans and players alike, known for his humility and love of the game. In his later years, Johnson became a fixture of baseball's historical lore, attending various ceremonies and celebrations honoring the legends of the game. He was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1936, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Despite the decline in his health in his later years, Johnson remained active in his community and in the sport, attending various events and occasionally appearing at Senators games. He continued to be a beloved figure in Washington, D.C., and in baseball history. Conclusion. Walter Johnson's career is a testament to the power of hard work, perseverance, and talent. His legendary fastball, incredible strikeout numbers, and career longevity make him one of baseball's greatest players. Johnson's contributions to the game helped set the stage for future generations of pitchers, and his place in baseball history is solidified. He remains a symbol of excellence in the sport, a towering figure whose influence continues to be felt in the game of baseball.